Okay, so today we're going to be on page 122, and it's going to be completing the square review. On page 122. So our objective today is completing the square. So we're going to recall that if we have an x minus 3 squared, this means that we have an x minus 3 times x minus 3. So we can use our box method and we have an x minus 3 here and x minus 3 here. So to do this, we have to multiply these two together. So we have x squared, then we're multiplying our negative 3 and x. So we get negative 3x. Now we're multiplying negative 3 and x here. So we get a negative 3x. And then we're multiplying negative 3 times a negative 3, which is a positive 9. So now we want to take what we have in our boxes out. So we have x squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9. So this becomes x squared minus 6x plus 9. So what we should notice here is that to get a negative 6, we multiplied our negative 3 by 2, and to get our 9, we squared negative 3. So I now want you guys to try an example. So we have an x plus 4 squared. So I want you guys to pause the video and try this on your own. So for this example, we should have x plus 4 times x plus 4. So if we put this into our box, we should get out x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16, and that becomes x squared plus 8x plus 16. So we should notice to get this 8, we took our 4 and multiplied it by 2, and to get our 16, we squared 4. So now we're going to look at another type of example. So we have x squared plus 14x plus, and we're trying to find our third term here for a perfect square trinomial. So first I want us to write ax squared plus bx plus c. So just a reminder, our a here is our quadratic coefficient, b is our linear coefficient, and c is our constant term. So in this example, you were trying to find our constant term. So what we have to do is we're taking our 14 and we are dividing it by 2 and squaring it. So we would get a 7 squared, and this would be 49. So in order to find this third term, we're taking our b, our linear coefficient, dividing it by 2, and then squaring it to find our constant term. So to write this in a factored form now, we're going to have x plus 7 and x plus 7. So we notice here that to get our 14, we have to multiply 7 by 2. To get our 49, we have to square our 7. So this is to find our last term. So now I want you guys to try an example. So we're going to have x squared plus 8x, and we're going to want to find what our third term is. So I want you guys to pause the video and try this example. Okay, so for our example that we just tried, we need to find what our third term is. So we're taking our 8 and we're dividing it by 2 and then squaring it. So we're going to get 4 squared, which is 16. So 16 is going to be our third term. And when we write this as a factored form, we have x plus 4 times x plus 4. So you'll see here that to get our 8 here, we have to multiply it by 2, 4 by 2, and to get our 16, you take 4 squared. So now we are going to try to actually complete the square given a quadratic equation. So if we are given x squared plus 6x minus 10 equals 0. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add our 10 to the other side, because we want this form to look like this, or we're missing our third term. So we're going to have x squared plus 6, and we're going to draw a box for an empty space, because that's what our third term is going to be, and we have equals 10 now. So what we did to find our third term is we have to take 6, divide it by 2, and square it. So if 6 divided by 2 is 3, 3 squared gives us 9. So we're going to add a plus 9 here, and what we do to this side, we have to do to our other side. So we have to add 9 to our other side. So we're left with x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 10 plus 9, which gives us 19. So if we write this as a factored form, we have x plus 3 times x plus 3 equals 19. So we're going to try another example, and then you guys are going to try one on your own. So if you have x squared plus 8x minus 11 equals 0. So the first thing that we should be doing is moving our 11 to our other side, because we want to have a blank for our third term. So we're adding 11 to both sides. So we have x squared plus 8x plus drawing our blank box equals 11. So now we need to take our b, which is 8, divide it by 2, and then square it. So we have 4 squared, which gives us 16. So we're adding 16 to our box. So now we have to add that to our other side. So we're left with x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals 11 plus 16, 27. So to write this as our factored form, we have x plus 4 times x plus 4 equals 27. So now in this last example, I want you guys to try it first. So we have x squared plus 10x plus 12 equals 0. So now you guys are going to pause the video and try this one. Okay, so for our example, x squared plus 10x plus 12 equals 0. The first thing that we did was move our 12 to our other side. So we subtracted 12, and we draw our box for our space. So we have x squared plus 10x, and then plus 25. We got that by dividing our b, which is 10, by 2 and squaring it. And since we added 25 on this side, we had added to this side. So we have x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 13. And to write this in factored form, we have x plus 5 times x plus 5 equals 13.